With all the other things to consider while producing a video, it can be tempting to just slap a random color filter on the video without a second thought. But is that doing more harm than good? In part 3 of this 5-part video series, we'll be discussing how you can use color to your advantage in your videos. Have you ever been scrolling on Instagram and wondered why all the influencers make all their content so orange? Well, they do this for one of two reasons. Either they're just copycat frauds and see all the other influencers doing it, or they understand to some extent the emotional effect color has on their followers. Each color elicits a certain response from us as viewers, whether we're aware of it or not. For example, blue tones denote sadness and despair, while orange and yellow elicits happiness. Interestingly enough, these two colors are on opposite sides of the color spectrum. Green tones typically invoke a feeling of illness or corruption, while magenta generates a feeling of love and romance. Again, these colors are on the opposite side of the spectrum. The Harry Potter movies often use green tones when showing he who should not be named, reminding us of his sickly, decrepit nature. In fact, the most evil spell in this series, or the killing spell, emits as green when cast. When you understand these rules, you can either follow them or consciously choose to break them to bring about a certain result. For example, the movie Midsummer has dark and sinister themes, but the cinematographer opted for nothing but bright and colorful shots. So why did they decide not to make the film dark and blue? Well, there are likely many reasons for this. For instance, the cinematography's stark contrast from the overall tone of the film induces an uneasy response from us as viewers. It gives us greater understanding for the main character's experience of questioning her sanity in a beautiful environment she feels uneasy about. Color in film is typically viewed in two categories: the color grade and the color palette. The color grade refers to the hue, saturation, exposure, and contrast of the image, while the color palette refers to the colors of the clothing and objects found in the world of the film. Mad Max Fury Road is a more obvious example of how filmmakers use color to further a theme. Throughout most of the movie, the filmmakers focused on one color, bright orange. Nearly everything else is either black or close to it. When we understand the dystopian setting of the movie, it's easy to see why the filmmakers made this decision. While warm colors are typically viewed as light and happy, when taken to an extreme like this, the oversaturated orange contributes to the film's sickly nature and emphasizes the character's obsession with fire and power. Whether or not you adhere to the rules of color is entirely up to you, but you should always have a valid reason to back up your decision. Thanks again for watching another video from Social Paragon. In the next video, we'll be covering the basics of framing your shots in a way that will help you tell your story. You can subscribe to more content if you like this video, and if you do, be sure to turn on those notifications so you can see when we release the next video.